So the number one question that I've been asked from people who have been through this video course is how can I do this part-time, and can I do it? Is it possible to do this in my spare time? So it's very important for me to include this because not everyone is in the fortunate position that I am in to be able to do this kind of thing full-time. I truly value the situation I find myself in, even though it included years of struggle, as I love what I do. I want you to love what you do and be able to get to this stage as well, so I'm going to show you how to do it with an hour or two, just in 1 hour or two spare per day. And my good friend who I created this entire series for has a full-time accounting job. So the guy you see mentioned on the bottom left of every page on this website, Justin, is someone I've known for a long time, and he has a real desire to succeed. But he just needed a strategy to take that desire and be able to put it into action. I couldn't put together a strategy that requires 40 hours a week because he just doesn't have that. So before we get into the good stuff here, I just want to make a quick confession. My confession is that I never planned to start a marketing business. Hopefully none of my clients are listening to this and they suddenly start freaking out. So I didn't wake up one day and get on the phone with Diggy and say we should start a huge SEO company, a huge marketing inc. Instead, like all good businesses, it started by total accident. To cut a very long story short, myself and Diggy purchased a lot of domain names for a private blog network, a lot of websites for some of our SEO projects that we were running, and we ended up buying way more than we needed. So we ended up giving them to a good friend for a good price who runs an SEO company. What happened next after we gave him those domains totally blew us and him away. Every single client he gave new links to improved in rankings, even ones that had been stuck for a few weeks and clients who were considering not working with him anymore. Every single one improved in rankings. Of course, he then asked us for more links and has been buying them from us every single month since that day. So in this video, I'm going to cover how I get to 6 figures per month doing this in your spare time, or if I was doing it spare time like I was when we started. As mentioned in the previous video, I'll primarily be focusing on the agency funnel here, but you can certainly apply the advice to other funnels as well. For this video, I kind of zoned back into my old headspace when I was building a marketing business at 16. I was going to college at 5 days a week. I was working an 8-hour work shift on Saturday and Sunday in a clothes store. So I kind of zoned back into that headspace and figured out, like, remembering when I had very little time to do this stuff, what I would do. So I'm going to show you exactly what I would do if I didn't have a lot of time to put all of this together. So how did we grow a $60,000 per month business, which is growing while working part-time? Well, actually we didn't. The second part is a lie. However, it is not a lie that our first few months, getting up to about $15,000 to $20,000 per month, we were very much working part-time. Getting to 60K, that was not part-time. I'm not going to lie to you. I could bullshit you and just say, it was all done with 2 hours a week. That's not the case. We put in more effort. But to get to $15,000, $20,000 a month, we were very much working part-time, and then we dedicated more time to it to grow it further. These days, we work on the business as much as we can because we love it. I started a marketing company back when I was 16 years old. I just loved the whole process. At the end of the day, you have to have something to do with your time, something to do with your days, and this is what I personally want to do. Think of any successful billionaires like Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson. Basically anyone who started their business and has made a lot of money, and they still continue working on their business. Even think of athletes. When they retire, they very often get into coaching and training because they love what they do. This is simply what I enjoy doing, and I enjoy teaching it and helping other people succeed as well. So what we did when we started our business to start with, to get clients and stuff like that, we simply started putting hints in emails about offering some kind of SEO service. And those who contacted us, so they had an idea that maybe we offered something, they got sent a link to a website. And the reason we did this, we didn't just go fully overboard with a launch or anything like that. The reason we did this is because we wanted to open things up, but we didn't want to do it too fast. So we had been having a lot of success with our own websites. The person that we gave those excess domains to, and he's been buying them from us every month, he had success, but we wanted to make sure we could just reach a large audience and make sure they would have success as well before we kind of went global and really scale things up. After all, I want my audience to trust what I have to offer, and I can't do that if we open to a ton of people and things didn't actually work. So we want to start a bit small, make sure we could get results from more clients, and then open our doors up further. So this was the page, kind of embarrassing looking back at it now. back in August 2013. This was the page that we first started offering our services on 8 to 9 months ago. It's literally it's one page of a website, and this is very, very simple. It's a pretty terrible page, just showing our rules for people using the service, a few screenshots of the results we've been able to get, and then a box at the bottom with our pricing. And here is that pricing box from when we first started out. Pretty ugly. It's actually there isn't supposed to be that white gap between the pricing options, but I kind of suck with CSS, so I couldn't really get them lined up properly, so I just stuck with that. So the pricing there, $99 a month, $249 a month, and $499 a month. And if you're interested, here is our pricing today. What is interesting is that our lowest price point that we offer today is higher than the middle price point we offered when we started out. I think that's a pretty clear sign of how far we've come with the results we can get for our clients and the kind of marketing angles that we've figured out that we want to teach you in order to get people happy to pay you more money. So it's a big difference going from our second price was $249 a month, and now that second price is up to $600, and it's even cheaper than our beginner price at the moment. If we were full, which we often were, we would often send an email like this. So unfortunately, this is someone called Andrea who contacted us, the Private Circle, that's how we kind of called ourselves before we went to move to Private Inc. Maxed out, only package we have left is the most expensive one. It was totally true. Otherwise, I can email you in about a month. So I'm basically turning someone away. And I'm not turning them away as some kind of marketing gimmick. Turning people away dramatically reduced our workload so we could streamline processes. So just think for 1 second what we have to do when we get a new client. We want to think about which sites in our private network we should use to link to that specific client. The sites which are most relevant to their industry. We don't just have this list already organized and stuff. We want to get her links from sites that don't link out to too many other sites already, and so on. By the way, I just want to interrupt and say if you do hear any background noise, as in the previous video, I apologize deeply. As I moved into a new condo, there's a lot of building work going on around here, and there's really not much I can do about it. I like to think you'd rather me continue with the videos rather than have a month wait before I get the next one out there. So, continuing. So what we have to do, we have to find out which sites we're going to get links from. We also have to make sure that we can actually rank them for the keywords that they want to rank for. We don't take on clients if we don't think we can have an impact for them. We also have to order and create content for them. So when we give links, we don't just throw them in a sidebar on some random website. They get put into unique 500-word articles relevant to the topic of their site. And then slowly, so we don't do all this at once, just to kind of keep things a bit more natural, we start putting their content on websites, and so on and so on. If we get people signing up at different points in the month, it's very difficult to do all of these things and deal with our staff and work this out. We prefer to do this all in one day for this client, all of this content ideas for this group of clients on this day, blah 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 on this day. So if we're getting people signing up on random days in the month, it adds to our workload. We don't want that, and it's worked really nicely. And it's good to have something like this because when your business partner's traveling the world, you have to become a bit smarter with your time. So here's Diggy driving a nice Ferrari that he rented out for the day in Paris. Here he is, I think this one is in Amsterdam. He rented a Porsche for the day, just driving around the track with his cousin. And another one here in the Bahamas. Reaffirm the point that we didn't get to stay together to build this business. He has been traveling a ton, yet still keeping up with his workload and being able to help grow the business. We split this business entirely 50-50 right down the middle, and there was absolutely no way he does less work than me. So for the majority of the business, the last 7-8 months, we have not been working together physically in person whatsoever, yet we've been able to grow this empire very much part-time. So we're really grateful that we get to do this stuff online. Because of our success already in various websites, we're able to work full-time on the internet. We don't have a job or anything like that. However, for this new project, for building a marketing Inc., when we started out, it definitely didn't apply. We definitely didn't have full time to dedicate to things. At the time we were growing this business, we were also building niche websites. So I guess for me personally, I'm very much known for having success with niche affiliate websites. It's something I've talked a lot about on my blog. I didn't want to stop that and totally forget about it just because I had this new business going on. So again, even though we have this full-time opportunity available to us, we have other projects going on, so we can only dedicate a certain amount of hours to doing this. Another big one for me is releasing the next version of my plugin. I have a plugin for WordPress. I probably sold about $300,000-$400,000 worth of software on one plugin. It's a huge plugin. We've got thousands of customers, and the customers I have to take care of when we do a new update to the software. So it's very important to me, and that plugin is optinskin.com, by the way, opt-in plugin for WordPress. It was very important to me that we released a good update and didn't just rush it and it didn't start breaking people's websites and get a lot of bad press and so on. So I was putting a lot of time into that. And I was also getting into paid advertising. So I'm a member of a paid advertising community. I'm not really a big paid ad guy, but I've definitely been getting into it more. And right now I'm spending a couple $100 per day on Facebook ads and other networks and AdWords and so on. So it's also something I didn't just want to stop and cut off because I started this new angle and started getting into SEO again. And finally, also, of course, writing blog posts for VibeChill and my various other sites and their strategies and so on. So I was very busy. We had a lot of things going on. So some of the things we did to simplify the process and, take a bit of time off our hands include things like only offering one service. This is where I really messed up when I first started a marketing company the first time. I offered pretty much everything to everyone. This time we just offer backlinks and we just offer those links from one source. Also outsource all of our copies. So I mentioned earlier, when we get a new client, all of the links we get for them, they go into unique 500-word articles. We're probably making about 1,000 of these per month. Obviously, I don't have the time or the willpower to do that. Diggy doesn't have the time to be writing, half that share, 500 articles per month. So we pay someone else to do that. It really simplifies the process for us. Also, we're buying our domains in bulk. So if you are setting up a little private network of 10, 20 sites, which does work very well, by the way, I think that's great. You can take the time out to really look into the domains, look at the GoDaddy auctions, look into the metrics and so on that those domains have. However, for our situation where we're buying more than 100 domains a month, we have well over 1,000 domains in our network, we cannot be dealing with that, going into a lot of detail with each of those criteria just for a single domain name. So as our business has gone on, we found a lot of connections, like people who are purchasing thousands of domains per month, and we generally make one transaction, and in that one transaction we will buy 100 or 200 domains and so on. So that really simplified the process. And as it pertains to myself and Diggy, we've almost McDonald'sified, wow, I really messed up writing that, even though it is not a word. We almost McDonald'sified our business. So from what I know of McDonald's, or at least maybe this is how they used to be, maybe they're not operating this way anymore, but they pretty much train each person to do one certain task. So it'll be someone's job to cook the burgers, someone's job to get the buns ready, someone's job to do the fries. And it meant it was very easy to replace people if they lost staff and they could pay them minimum wage and so on. So the way myself and Diggy have kind of done that is that he will handle room service. One second. The way myself and Diggy have done that is that he will handle dealing with our staff and getting all the content and organizing the network sites, and I'll handle all of the website design, the marketing, the emails that go out and so on. So we do not get in each other's way. There isn't a case or a day where he's made some change to the website and I'm like, damn dude, that looks terrible, what did you do? He won't touch that stuff. I put that in my domain. And also when it comes to clients, I don't really talk to them, not clients, rather our staff. I definitely talk to our clients. When it comes to staff, I don't deal with them at all. He handles all of that, and he handles, the network sites and so on. So as I mentioned earlier, once we got to around the $15,000 to $20,000 per month mark, which we were doing pretty much part-time, we had to start taking this more seriously. We wanted to take it a bit further, and we're happy to do that. We love doing this. We have to do something with our day, and this just happens to be what we enjoy doing. Growing a business that we actually care about, and we want to help other people do the same. So this isn't about us. I maybe rambled a little bit too much about our own stuff there, so sorry about that. This is about you. So here is the exact approach that I would take. 9 steps for crushing it with the agency funnel part-time. So the absolute first thing you should be doing, the number one thing you should be doing, is your research. So when you start out, forget about the logo, the site design, the domain name, the design of your website. Basically fluff, okay, it is kind of important, but when you're starting out, it is not important. What you want to do first is to find the problem that your industry has. That has to be step 1 because it's the most important factor. And the good news is that while you're doing this research, the other things will come to you. Like how maybe you solve things in the shower, like ideas come to you and you wish you had like a notepad to write things down. Or the one that works best for me is when I'm having a problem with how to do something and I kind of sleep on the idea and I wake up and it comes to me. So it's very likely that while you're doing the research and learning more about the industry and the niche that you're going to be getting into for your marketing business, And remember, this just applies to the agency funnel here. It would be a bit overwhelming if I included every single funnel with this part-time angle. Hopefully you can apply this to yourself, to other ideas. Just make sure you're focusing on the important stuff first, and the other stuff is going to come to you during that time, or you can do it at a later stage. Step number two, get your lead gen set up off the bat. You know how powerful email addresses are. You can put together any ebook cover, any autoresponder, any website designed for opt-ins. Just get it all set up, the entire funnel. Your lead magnet. Get your lead magnet in place first. It doesn't have to be huge. So, just a quick audio file, a 10-minute PowerPoint video, a 10-15 page ebook PDF that you're giving away. This shouldn't take you more than 3 to 4 hours. People aren't expecting you to be giving away a novel. They just want value. And if you can get to the value quickly and get your point across, they're going to be happy with that. It's not about the length, it's very much about the quality. You don't have to be an amazing speaker or writer, just give value and just get that lead gen set up straight away. Then what you want to do next is you want to write your first follow-up emails. We talked about this in the previous video. Here is where you give value. So based on your research and all the ideas you find, all the sites you found, the potential solutions to problems, cool things in the industry. Maybe you found someone who did some successful marketing campaign on YouTube or on Twitter or on Facebook for their company in that specific industry, and you can share that with other people, with other potential clients and so on. So what you want to be doing is writing your first follow-up emails. So as you can see here from these 3 first points, it's all just about getting the core system set up into place. Don't worry about the fluff and the frills and all that kind of thing. Just get this done first. Step number 4 is pick only one traffic source. So there is a ton of traffic sources you can use when it comes to your agency funnel. We've covered these quite a lot throughout the course. It can be natural Google search traffic, paid Google search traffic, Facebook ads, Reddit ads, Twitter ads, interacting with people on forums, emailing bloggers, finding other communities where people hang out, groups on Facebook and so on that may be interested in this lead magnet that you have to offer. Now, there are so many options out there, but I just want you to pick one. Don't confuse yourself with too many different sources of traffic. Just learn one and focus on that to start with. Then I want you to absolutely dominate that source of traffic. So if you decide you're going to run, maybe you have a couple $100 you want to put into Facebook ads, learn everything you can about Facebook. Try a lot of different little ad campaigns. Try promoting posts, individual posts on a fan page, maybe ads on the side of Facebook that with clicks that go directly to your site and so on. Similarly, if you decide you're going to go a free route, like connecting with bloggers and influencers and just emailing them with outreach and so on, really own it. So don't just email 5 bloggers, email 50 if it's available, if there's enough people in that industry. Email journalists and so on, people who can help get the word out about what it is that you're offering. Just pick one source of traffic and dominate that source. And then number 6 is to start tweaking your offer. So once you have the lead funnel going on and you have more people and you have people coming to your website, then you want to start tweaking things. So maybe you can change your different ebook cover if that's what you're giving away. Maybe you can change the angle of the ebook if it's if people aren't actually giving away their email address. This is where you start testing your ideas and seeing what people want. What kind of offering are you giving away that gets you the most email addresses? So you can just be testing this and seeing what's going on. You may get lucky and hit it right out of the park on your first try. You found an ebook, you put together an ebook or an audio file or PDF or video course or whatever it is, and people loved it and they downloaded it. If that is not the case, tweak your offer a bit and see what does work, see what your audience is interested in. Number 7, so now you've had a bit of practice, you got things set up, you had traffic, you've changed things a bit, reflect on what worked. A lot of people don't take the time to do this, and it's quite amazing to me. Just reflect on what worked and what didn't, so you can know for the next time when you start doing more promotions, you're kind of ahead of the game now. You don't have to go through the same mistakes that you went through previously. Number 8, move on to your next source of traffic. So all those ideas I just listed, move on to the next one and then dominate that one. And number 9, create something to sell. So we talked about this also. Again, this is just for the agency funnel. So obviously for the SEO route, you'd be selling SEO services. For the rank and rent, you'd be selling space on the website that you're going to be renting out. And for this agency funnel, it can literally be anything. It can be, what I actually recommend is expanding your lead magnet. So let's just say your lead magnet is an ebook. What I would do is I'd create a much longer ebook to actually sell. So they already interested in reading stuff from you. Create something a lot longer and charge for it. Or if you did an audio file, which is 20-30 minutes in length, maybe you can give away 2 or 3 which are an hour each. And similarly, if you did a video, you give away a 10-minute PowerPoint presentation or so on. or a consultation, whatever it was, expand the length of that, whatever you're giving away. Create something to sell. A great example is to go back, you personally take some time out to go back and look at people like Bob Phibbs, the retail doctor, look at NPE, look at the kind of things they're selling. It's really, really simple. If you do have any problems with this, you can get in touch with me and I can help you with that. So those are the 9 steps for crushing it part-time. Get it all in place, and then once you're at that stage, the whole system can take care of itself. You can kind of sit back, let that traffic source keep going, your funnel's in place. You only have to do that once. Okay, it is going to take a bit of work, 3-4 hours of work. I think I could get something pretty decent put together. But then that's it, you're done. You don't have to worry about that anymore. It's just about getting more people onto your list, giving them some value, and then selling whatever you want to sell. Once you've created your product, once the list is in place, you're done pretty much. You can do whatever you want after that. It's all set up ready for you. And obviously you just tweak things as you go on to get even more sales from the traffic that you're sending. So I hope, at least for the agency funnel, that's given you a kind of idea of how I continue, where I go with things. Now, if you want to take this to the next level, I'm going to show you that in the next video. The next video is huge because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you our private community where hundreds of people just like you who've maybe never done this stuff before, or they know a little bit about marketing stuff but they've never really put anything together and followed a proper strategy. I'm going to show you our private community, hundreds of people who are doing this exact same thing. They're all following these Marketing Inc. videos and they're all putting the same funnels into action. And some people it's only been live now for a week. Some people have already made money. Someone emailed me today, so they landed 2 clients paying them $5,000 a month after 1 week. So it's pretty incredible. In the next video, I'm going to show you in detail what that is and how you can kind of have a support group to take you through this whole funnel.